The murder of a young man during the weekend in a crowded area of the island is under investigation.
A new case of murder with a firearm occurred on the island early this morning, in which a young man was shot while he was in a well-known discotheque near the pink zone of the island. The young man arrived without vital signs at the departmental hospital, where he was taken directly to the morgue, according to information provided by medical sources to Teleislas News. About the unfortunate event, videos are circulating on social media in which the moment when the ambulance staff gives first aid to the victim and tries to keep him alive can be observed. However, this was not possible. So far, the authorities have not issued an official statement regarding these facts. Meanwhile, the hypothesis of a possible quarrel between inhabitants of two popular sectors is being considered as the apparent motive for the crime.
We continue with unbelievable news. A man was captured for being accused of abusing his own niece, a 4-year-old girl.
A man was captured on the island for abusing his 4-year-old niece. According to a report issued by the prosecutor office, the child mother who reported the incident realized what was happening because the minor allegedly had a sexually transmitted disease. The fact occurred in May of last year in San Andres Island, when the mother of the minor evidenced that the 4-year-old girl had a discomfort in her intimate part and took her to the doctor, who sent her for evaluation. According to the studies and medical laboratories, it was established that the accused had allegedly infected her with a sexually transmitted disease after the abuse. The information was released by the Attorney General office.
A man who apparently committed aggravated sexual act was sent to prison by a judge that fulfills the function of ensuring guarantees. In the interview with the psychologist, the minor shared that her uncle had climbed on top of her and allegedly abused her.
The accused was captured last January 25th by officials of the National Police, thanks to a warrant issued by the Promiscuous Municipal Court of Old Providence Island were weighed against him, and after an investigation led by the Technical Investigation Corps of the Prosecutor Office, CTI. The first mixed municipal crime judge of San Andres Island issued a detention order against the defendant for the aforementioned crime. The defendant did not plead guilty to the charge.
And a young man denounces a possible case of abuse of authority before the competent authorities.
A complaint was filed with the Attorney General office in the department following a case of allegedly abuse of authority by the National Police on Saturday at about 8:30 in the morning, when Jimmy Angulo Arrieta was about to take his sister to her place of work. He did not make the due check-in in the area of Morris Landing. According to what he relates to Teleislas News, a woman makes an observation and apologizes and continues. Later, he is requested by the National Police. This is where it began an alleged abuse of authority as reported by Angulo, because the person who asks for the keys of the motorcycle and the papers is in civilian clothes.
I was leaving the neighborhood where I live in Morris Landing. I did not notice that I left without making the police checkpoint. At that time, there was a person in civilian clothes. In other words, the colonel came in civilian clothes on her bicycle and was saying a few words behind me at the time. I stopped and I heard her, and she told me, "You should make the checkpoint," and I said, "Thank you." Then it started to drizzle and I started off again once it was cool. As the drizzling stopped, a police car came behind me, and at that time I saw that the police car was asking me to exit off the road. Therefore, I stopped and they pulled me over. I saw that they stopped and I continued again, and I saw the insistence, so I stopped again at the entrance of the ground road. I told them how I could help them. Another plainclothes policeman got out just like her and asked me for my documents. She was in civilian clothes on her bike and proceeded to ask for the keys to the motorcycle.
The National Police indicate that two people who were traveling at high speed on motorcycle at the moment of requesting their identification became agitated, and one of them immediately fled the scene.
Two people who were riding a motorcycle were summoned by the National Police, and at the moment they were asked to identify themselves. One of them immediately got on his motorcycle and fled the scene. Likewise, the second person involved in these events was taken by police personnel to the departmental command, and once at the command, the mother of the two individuals arrived and verbally assaults the commander and utters some threats.
We will expand more about this news in our central broadcast tonight at 8 p.m. In other news, Coast Guard units of the Colombian Navy rescued 3 people who were in a boat with mechanical problems.
Colombian Navy units rescued 3 Colombian nationals who were adrift in waters near the coast of San Andres after the motorboat in which they were sport fishing suffered mechanical failures in its main engine. The 3 people, among them a woman, stated that they had been out fishing near South-Southwest Key when they were adrift.
This morning we left on a fishing trip to South-Southwest Key. We arrived safely, thank God, but when we returned, the gas tank of the boat filled with water and we were adrift. Thank God we communicated with the National Navy and they came to rescue us. Here we are safe and sound.
The 3 rescued citizens were transferred to the island of San Andres, where crew members of the Naval Institution provided immediate attention and verified their health condition. The National Navy extends an invitation to fishermen to continue using Line 146 or VHF Marine Channel 16 to report any emergency situation at sea and in coastal areas.
And during the weekend, there were mass vaccination campaigns against COVID-19 in our department, an opportunity to continue reinforcing and mitigating the impact of the new coronavirus.
Over the course of 2 days, the inhabitants of the department had the opportunity to get vaccinated at the Morgan Canyon Square as a part of the effort to advance in the vaccination program against COVID-19. A total of more than 1,000 vaccines were administered.
This is our second vaccination campaign with the slogan "Back to School Safely." We had the participation of children, young people, and adults who went out to get their first, second, and booster dose. There was an accumulation of 1,211 people, and now we invite the community that if they did not come to our vaccination campaign, they can come to the hospital's tent from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. where we will be waiting for them.
For people who want to receive their vaccination at the hospital tent, they only need to present their ID card and their vaccination card in case of a second or third dose of the vaccine against COVID-19.
Thanks to the employment intermediation of the Public Employment Agency, today a micro-job fair was held to supply profiles for a new investment in tourism.
With the objective of connecting job seekers with a new company in the hotel sector that requires 20 positions with proactive profile and extensive experience, the San Andres Regional Center through the Public Employment Agency will hold this February 7 a micro job fair with 20 vacancies in the hotel sector.
En el día de hoy estamos acá en la Agencia Pública de Empleo.
Today we are here at the Public Employment Agency doing the first micro job fair directly with the employer. The process is to provide the entrepreneur with resumes of candidates interested in the positions that are being offered and to be able to conduct the interview process with the company. With this micro employment fair, we try to get people to approach so we can have a direct interaction with these people, not only using the application, but also that the employer can get to know the people with their profiles in terms of the vacancies we have available.
For its part, the company in charge tells us what are the vacancies available in this micro job fair.
En este momento queremos abrir uno de los mejores hostales en la isla.
At this time, we want to open some hostels on the island. We are looking for vacancies for housekeepers, food and beverage manager, night auditors, revenue auditor, and everything that has to do with the operational part. Bartenders, assistant bar attendants, waitresses, supervisors, service captain, waiters, security and maintenance.
The businessman emphasized the importance of taking advantage of the Public Employment Agency to unify all the actors and make up the tourism sector of the department.
Levante la mano quien ya esté al día con su tecnomecánica. ¿Cómo saberlo? Fácil. Revisa la fecha de vencimiento del último certificado y tenla presente. En la vía, abraza la vida y no dejes esta revisión tan importante para lo último. Recuerda que así evitas poner en riesgo tu patrimonio y a tu familia. Una campaña de la Agencia Nacional de Seguridad Vial y el Ministerio de Transporte. And now let's get to know other facts that are making news today in our brief news section.
The Citizen Prevention Group of the National Police conducted in the sector of St. Louis the strategy Cinema Under the Stars, which seeks to create spaces for healthy recreation for children and adolescents of the island. On this occasion, the children enjoyed a movie with important reflective messages. Over the weekend, the Barracuda Park was illuminated in pink to commemorate the International Day Against Cancer, where attendees paid tribute by lighting a candle to those who have died or suffered from this disease. The activity was attended by the Departmental League Against Cancer as well as the Office of Women's Affairs and Gender. The National Institute of Health is on the island taking samples to complete the study to determine the level of antibodies generated by the Sinovac vaccines in the archipelago.
And this is all for now. We see you tonight at 8 p.m. in our central broadcast with more Teleislas news. Good afternoon.